All right, we are live once again for episode 2 of Shooting the Shizz with DK and my dude, the Schwag. And tonight we got coming back again. It's been a little while since you've been here, Mr. CJ Vecchio, the Evil 3, filmmaker, director, producer, and now running a film festival. Film festival, Chicago Horror Film Festival. Congratulations on that. And
thank you.
I know you're looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, super excited. So, it just happened pretty quick. Last week we signed the paperwork, working out some deals, and like I said, we're taking over. We took over.
Let's give a little background on this festival. I remember we talked about this when I went out to film with you, but give the folks at home a little background on how this thing started, how long it's been going. Then we'll go into you that you strong-armed this guy and said, I'm taking over.
Basically it. So, no, it's been going on for 24 years in Chicago. So it's IMDb certified, right? It's been going on for a long time. I mean, even before I was in the biz, I remember driving down Chicago, seeing the big billboards and all that and the theaters. So, and I hooked up with the last director, Willie Atkins. So, we just hit it off, him and I. I entered a couple of my films in his festivals and won. And we just became, friends. And when, word came about that he was looking on getting a new, not selling it, but, giving it to fresh hands, he called it. I was the first guy he called. So him and I talked. It started, back in January. But like I said, we started talking probably in September, but I was busy filming the Evil 3 with the big Schwag. So I told him, hey man, we're in the middle of production right now. Get back to me in November, December, after the holidays. And then like I said, we got back in touch in January, the new year, and just, like I said, let's get her done. So we signed everything over. So super excited. Like it's a tradition in Chicago. And I think I could just pump some new blood into it and have some ideas. Being a film director and being in, dozens of film festivals. Actually, we were just in this weekend. It's still going on right now. Days of the Dead in Atlanta, Georgia. So we won an award. I couldn't make it. I was tied up in Chicago. Rumor has it I was nominated for 3 awards. We won 1. I just don't know which one we won yet. So they'll probably announce it hopefully tomorrow.
I heard what you won. Best sex scene in a film.
Yeah, several of those. Actually, several of those. So
hey, that's good. It's so film festival wise. Let's tell the folks at home exactly. So Chicago, what have they done over? Do they bring in celebrities? Is it strictly film festival? Are there vendors?
The ones, there's 2 types, right? There's the Days of the Dead type of film festival. There's the Pop Cons in Indianapolis, Houston Horror Fest, which is a great one. And they're a little bit of both. It's convention and film festival. But then again, I've been to some film festivals where it's just in a movie theater and it's just films. That's it. Nothing else. No celebrities, nothing like that. So there's a little bit of, both. Like I said, Chicago Film Festival, I didn't attend the last 2 years. And so, like you said, the first year I became a director, the first year my films came out, it was COVID. So everybody was virtual. But we're looking at new venues right now. I was emailing a couple of venues and a couple other people. So I would like to do a combo, a little bit of a convention, get the big Schwag there, get a little Doomsday Crypt there. That's my main goal, is to do a 50-50 film festival and have some booths and vendors out in front to give, liven it up a little bit. So
nice.
That's what I'm looking for.
John, how far are you from Chicago? Not that far,
Not
right?
far. No. I'd love to go. Do you have a date set for it yet?
You know what? The date right now, since I took over, is September 23rd that weekend, right?
What?
September 23rd that weekend. But like I said, that's super flexible. I'm in talks. I'm not in talks right now, but I sent out some messages with some venues, so it might be a little earlier. I'm talking to some people. We might be doing a Halloween weekend. So like, are you available that weekend, Big Schwag?
Awesome. You get Brett there. I know my friend Beatrice Bupley would be down to go if her schedule's open. Get a few celebs in there, some cool people. You got DK and the B. You got DK and the Schwag. We'll make sure we rock that house.
You and I are booked, John. We're already working.
I know. I was going to say September. I know we're yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's not set in stone. Right now, that's what they had. They don't, like I said, they used a theater last year. I don't know. I can't use it this year. So we're, like I said, we're in search of a new venue spot. My goal of a venue spot is to have something easy access, public transportation, driving. Definitely have to be near a train track. So this way, everybody, if it's in the burbs, the people from Chicago come to burbs. If it's in Chicago, the burbs could come to Chicago. I just want it easy as possible. So that's my number one priority right now, is to find a vendor space that could, handle, the people coming and going out of town, in town, stuff like that. So, but like I said, the date is flexible. We're looking maybe, the people we're talking to now, they're doing something the first weekend of August. I'm also talking to a group where it might be Halloween weekend. So the weekend before Halloween.
The weekend before Halloween?
Yeah. I'll have to get with you, Brett. I'll get with you and we can work on your calendar. Send me your calendar.
What's Brett's schedule?
Now the first 2 weekends of October, the 6th and the 7th, the 13th, and 14th, I don't think there's anything going on for cons or anything. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing right now, I'm not sitting on that date. The main thing is, I said, we got to get a venue. And I want something where it has, like I said, both a convention, bring some stars, bring you in, Brett. And then, like I said, I've been to both type of film festivals, and the film festivals I enjoy is a mixture of both.
Now, let me ask you real quick. So film festival, how many, would this be full-length features? Would it be shorts?
It's a mixture of both. So right now, I think we have like 310 films already submitted. So,
wow.
Yeah, 310. I was a little shocked at that when I saw the number. So 310, we're still accepting up until, I want to say, July. So, like I said, if any independent film director out there that has a movie, so submit it right now on Film Freeway. But right now we're at 310. So
do you have a bunch of judges like a John right over there, and then everybody's got to watch 300 movies?
But basically, and I was running. I started up the Chicago Horror Film Awards last year before I took. I knew about this, so we're molding the Chicago Horror Film Awards with the Chicago Horror Film Fest. And I already have a crew of judges, I think about 15 right now. So I'm going to transfer them to, the Chicago Horror. We're just going to meld it into one, right? So, but basically, if we have a film, a judge, we'll give them, 8 films to watch, and they just rate them. If they want to watch more, that's, I don't want to bombard them and all that. But there's a judging system that I have. I've talked to other film directors around, several of them. So they gave me some tips and some ideas on how to do it. But the main thing I want to focus on this film festival, a lot of film festival directors are just fans of horror films, right? Being a director, I want it to be on the filmmaker. I want to promote the filmmaker, right? Give them have this. I mean, in my book, film festivals are a stepping stone to the next level. And that's what I want to bring to the filmmakers out there. Give them a little launching pad. In a few months, we're going to launch. I think we're going to be doing some interviews with directors. So, we're going to pick some handful of directors that submitted some of their films, do some interviews with them. But like I said, I kind of want the Chicago Horror Film Festival. Like I said, it's the 24th anniversary this year. So it's got some major cred. I want this to be like the Cannes, the con of, of the United States. So, I just wanted to be a launching and the stepping stone.
Nice.
I may have a film that's being distributed by Doomsday's Crypt by my good friend Kyle Rappaport.
Yeah,
We talked about it, and I think
it.
it'll be a great one to enter. Kyle, if you're watching, we're going to enter the Shackle Demon Project. I got to get you to see it, Brett. It's really good. It's for a couple of kids that did some found footage about 13 years ago. It's one of my favorite movies, indie movies that I've seen in a while, and it had a very limited release.
Yeah. So we accept, shorts, we accept features. It's not just Chicago filmmakers, we're around the world. So I was watching some films that came in from Ireland, Mexico, Russia. So they come around. We accept everything right now. So we also accept scripts. We have probably like 30 scripts, and I'm like, I gotta read 30 scripts. We're writing 3 scripts ourselves right now. So we gotta see how that goes. But like I said, I got a couple people that are gonna be in charge of reading those.
Well, shoot, I got a script. I already got a script. I may have to enter me and my buddy's script. We haven't made it yet, so the movie hasn't been made. So that could be in there. That'd be awesome. Get a little pop, because how it works is that you hope you get into, like, if you had do it, you know this, CJ, because you have done so many film festivals. If you get a film in there, like what was the one you entered in Days of the Dead?
Yeah, Days of the Dead. So they did the Chicago. There was one in Chicago in November, and one and then Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia this weekend. So all the films that were in Chicago went to Atlanta, and they just grouped them all into one. So that was pretty exciting. I hit the Chicago, obviously, because I'm a Chicago boy, but I made that, and it was just awesome. That was just awesome. I got the dogs going. So
I think it's great that you have this foundation already set, an established brand, and now you can add all your ideas, all the things you want to do to implement into it, like adding celebrity guests, which I think is a great idea, especially now that a lot of celebrity guests like Brett is appearing in a lot of these indie films that can really draw quite a diverse group of fans, whether they're indie fans of 80s horror, or really anything. So I'm real happy for you. I know it's got to be incredibly exciting, not only with the movies you produced, and now you got this going on. It's going to be a successful 2023.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. And like I said, and we're tweaking. Right now, we're just revamping everything. We're going to be revamping the website, social media. So we're changing things up. We just hooked up a YouTube channel now. So all the filmmakers that have trailers, a lot of filmmakers don't. So, but the filmmakers that submit their film in the Chicago Horror Film Festival will have their trailer on our YouTube channel. We're TikTokers now, so we just dropped our first TikTok. So, like I said, we're handling that. We're going to get a social media manager. I was talking to somebody already today that's looking to volunteer for that position. But like I said, I want when a filmmaker says, "What film festival I want to put this film in?" It's Chicago Horror Film Festival. That's the first one I want to pop in his head.
That's awesome. You know what's nice about being able to enter your script is a lot of people write, right? And so if you're a brand new writer, even if you're a seasoned writer, but to get your script into a film festival and win something, it looks good. It's another nice thing, nominated for, won this award, as that it's a good deal. It's nice, especially when you want to pitch that script or that movie to a bigger company.
Yes.
Bloom goes, "Oh, really? You won this award. You won this award.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come in for a meeting. We'll fly you out."
Yeah. And like I said, and that's that's one of my main thing is promoting. I'm a fan of horror, but I'm also a director and a producer. So I'm also an editor. So I want this film festival to be for those guys, right? Also. And I think Aaron just asked about a category for trailers.
Yep.
Yes, we're going to do a category for trailers because I'm a big trailer guy. And also we're gonna add fan films. I love fan films, so we're gonna add that category. Like I said, we just signed the paperwork last week. So I don't want to step on. We're doing a slow roll. So we're gonna probably up Film Freeway probably next week with some new categories and and then jazz up some of the awards. I do like the best kill award. So I'm going to add that. But like I said, it's we're looking at a August, August, September, October event. So we have some time to play around still.
Prime season.
August is wide open.
That's it. Just send me your schedule, Brett, and I'll take care of you.
Hey, listen, I mean, whether I can be there or not, you know that me and John are going to support you 100% because you are one of the good guys in this biz, and I've got to work with you. So just don't let CJ drive.
No, what are you talking about?
Well, you forget things are on your car.
On the roof,
yes.
And yeah.
Yes, the machete. We when we're filming Evil 3, we had a machete and a prop machete, and one of the PAs must have set it on the hood of our rental car. We had a rental police SUV, and I'm with Rob Kabowski, special effects guy, awesome guy, and we're turning off the highway, and all of a sudden something slid across my hood, and it was the machete. So the entire joke of that day was like, can you imagine people sitting at the red light looking, there's a blood splattered machete on the ground. So that was I posted on social media. So what do you call it? One of those what do you call it when you go searching for stuff? You get clues and you start searching for stuff. So I kind of gave a clue of where it's at. And I found it the next day. So that was pretty fun.
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. Yeah, I saw the scavenger hunt. I watched it eagerly as you found that machete with all the blood all over it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it could have freaked out some people.
Yeah, I filmed it, and a couple cars were kind of looking at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? So, yeah, that was a fun time. But like I said, we're super excited with the news on the Chicago Horror Film Festival, and just, we're going to make things happen, and I have, a few months to get it going and promote it even more, and I just want this to be a big thing for Chicago. So
it could be. I mean, Chicago, has a couple good film festivals. Definitely has some good horror science fiction folks out there. You got the horror store. You got a lot of things that are being put into Chicago as far as stuff that we like, and this will be just a nice company piece for folks and other filmmakers to get involved with. And like you said, 24 years is a big deal. So. Yeah. If folks, do you have a website already so these folks know where to go when they start looking, when you start unveiling stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you could go on Film Freeway right now. So Film Freeway, search Chicago Horror Film Festival. So we got that going, and then we got the Chicago Horror Film Festival.com. We're launching a new website. So once that happens, I'm going to send press releases and, post on social media.
All right.
Right now, we're focusing everybody towards the Film Freeway website. So filmfreeway.com, search for the Chicago Horror Film Festival. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media. Just do the Chicago Horror Film Festival. You'll find us on there.
But it sounds a little strange, Film Freeway. Anyway.
Yeah, Film Freeway is a site where all the film festivals are. So not just horror, but they have like every film festival that you could find is on Film Freeway across the planet.
Nothing to do with Ron Jeremy is what I was getting.
Nothing to do with Ron Jeremy.
I think he heard three-way, not freeway.
No, did you hear three-way? No.
Freeway.
Yeah, no, that's another film festival.
That's the adult horror film festival.
Let's talk about how you doing on the Evil 3.
Yeah, Aaron just commented. There's trailers out, teaser trailers out right now on YouTube. We're in the middle of editing. So, the first draft is done. Usually the way I edit, I whip out the first draft, clean it up, and I go into second where, I start doing the music and cleaning up the audio. So right now the first draft is, and then special effects usually I clean that up on the third draft. Everybody says the first draft, you hate, you cry. My other movies, my first draft, I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to delete it and just quit. So, and it takes probably 4 or 5 drafts, but I got to say the first draft of the Evil 3, I was just like, yeah, we got something here. So I'm pretty impressed. I have studio time. I took a week off. the right work on a script, which that's another story. You know, what's that?
Let's not bring that up.
Let's not bring that up. So, word to filmmakers and script writers: get contracts signed before you do any work. So I took a week off of doing that, plus did some family, just to take a break. Because when you're editing, once you get that first draft, you know, I like to take a week break. Same thing with the second, just to clear your head. Because, you know, I'm locked in a room. I was locked in a room for probably 2-3 weeks, 12 hours a day, just, you know, boom, you know, just editing. So, yes, yeah, Rob did a great job there, Amy. He's awesome. But, yeah, so tomorrow, back to the studio and to get back at Resident Evil 3. So I think it's probably going to take probably another 2 months, I want to say, before we lock it.
And
the
campaign is ended, though.
No, the campaign's still going. Campaign's still going. So we got.
Let me pull up the link.
Yeah, pop the link to Indiegogo. We're hitting our stretch goal right now. We're stretch goal is 30,000. I think we're at almost 24,000 right now, 23.5. So, you know, ideally is just to get out of debt. And like I said, we're clean. We have one more shoot left. That's just a Zoom court, right? So we're filming that. If you want to be in the Evil 3 as a Zoom victim witness, where we have a perk on that, you could get that. You could film that at your house, cell phone, webcam. And that's the beginning of the movie of the Evil 3. So, but super excited from what I seen. Brett, you look awesome.
I look fat.
Oh, come on. You look like
I do look fat. John was worried.
Muscle.
John was worried. He said, I don't know if I want to do a podcast with you in there if your belly's sticking out as far as I saw in some of those promo pictures. So please, CJ, please.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll get, you know, once I get the main
little film editing, just
there and I'll slim you down a little bit.
That's and I should know better. That's why you don't get tight white T-shirts.
Yeah.
That's why you button up the flannel. But no, you know, it was fun to film with you that day. There was a lot of, and you know, watching CJ with folks that have never acted before as well that were in scene, they did great.
Yeah.
Some of those guys, you know, maybe we blew up their head and said, "Man, you did because they did a really good job." Now they're going to be coming looking for my gigs.
Yeah. And most of those were just Indiegogo people, you know. They got the Indiegogo perks.
Yeah.
And you know, no lines, no, you know, hey, you know, you're not gonna get any lines, you just stay in here and look pretty. But you know, we gave them lines, majority of them, you know.
They knocked it out of the park. It was great.
Yeah, you know, so I mean, I was super happy. I mean, any indie film, you know, obviously we're on a tight budget. You know, we have one day to shoot, fighting with the sun, fighting with, you know, noise. We're at a forest preserve. You know, thank God we had perfect weather. It wasn't raining or anything like that, or snow in Chicago. You know, I wish we had 2 days to film that day, but we jammed it all in. And I'm happy, and the main thing is, and here's my. Also, for, you know, filmmakers out there, is Evil 3. So you can find that on Indiegogo. Do a search for Evil 3. We got some awesome perks. Scroll down, like there's our acting perks. So $75, you could be in the beginning of the film. You know, yeah, right there. You get IMDb credit, end in the credits, digital download.
And you open the film.
Yeah, and you open the film.
And only 6 left. 4 have already been claimed. 6 left.
Yeah, we've had some more claimed too, so we had to revamp it. You know, the problem with, you know, Indiegogo, you know, once somebody claims it, you can't edit the perk, so you have to go back and redo another one. So, but yeah, so we have 6 more spots left for that. But if you scroll down, we got some pretty cool perks. We're doing a pay-per-view months before YouTube. Right, so 2 months before YouTube, you get the pay-per-view. We're working on right now, talking to some providers.
Nice,
yeah. So super excited about that. Obviously, you get the typical social media shout outs with IMDb cred, Plus, you get, like I said, you get the free digital download and everything, and you get the the 3-pack digital download. You're go down a little bit there. Yeah, so you get social media thanks with that one, digital download, digital poster. You get the script, after release, obviously, and you get the digital soundtrack. And we're working with some bands right now. We haven't signed any, but we're working on some killer bands. And one band does not cover songs, but they have 3 songs. Way before I even knew about the Evil 3, but they have a song for Jason, song for Leatherface, and a song for Michael Myers, which are awesome. It's like a punk rock band. So I'm talking to those guys. We haven't signed anything yet, or we're going to do a music video. So I got to edit that, add one more to the pile. So excited about some of the music choices. And then obviously you get your typical thank you. Keep on scrolling. You get the signed poster. Get the Blu-ray. And then the Blu-ray is going to have behind the scenes. It's going to do the behind the scenes. We might do an unrated and a rated version. One of the other filmmakers, Fan Film, Steve Merlo, I guess he was having problems. Somebody got him on the YouTube. And so it's
18 plus now,
yeah. So that's hurting him. So we might do, once we launch YouTube, we might just have like a rated R version or whatever, and then do a unrated version for the.
I'm shocked on his that it got that because his films. I mean, it's a horror film, but it's not over the top, bloody or gory or anything like that.
No, the point where when that happened, I think he has there's a couple trolls out there in the industry. I think that's what happened, but I'm like I got to rewatch it because nothing really stood out. That was super crazy.
It was more of the sense of gore and violence and stuff than it was actual violence. There were some scenes, but I think he did a well job, and he tried to execute it with the original style in '74, where you really, it wasn't so much you think you see more than you really do.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the Evil 3, it's not that way. You're going to see gore and blood. So I'm a little worried.
Well, if you got the Evil 3, there better be a lot of gore and blood.
There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of blood. I think Brett can contest to that. A lot of
as you go down. Of course, you got the cruise ship, but right there, you slate clapper. So my wife is has been in the business a long time, but she goes out and will get a lot of the directors and actors to sign these little slate stuff. Yeah. It's great, man, to put up on your wall in your office, and you have someone have something signed there. Very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's nice right there. I like that. You scroll down a little bit. Oh,
who's that guy?
You got the Brett Wagner Funko Pop-Up Leatherface autographed. I mean, that's super awesome right there.
That's a collectible.
Absolutely.
Especially if I don't live another 5 years, that is going to be.
Don't say that, buddy. I can't lose.
They're cool pops, though. They really are. Those Leatherface pops are sweet.
Yeah. That was a great stop right there, though. That was a great day because it was a rap party, and we're at some bar in town, and we had an entire section all to ourselves, and we had all these Funko Pops Brett signing. I brought these little these sledgehammers for him to sign, and then we had posters spread out for all the crew and cast to sign, and it was just funny. Like the people watch, who the hell are those people? They're signing autographs, and I thought it was a pretty cool feeling. And and the thing with the actors, they got the Indiegogo perks that they were there, and they were kind of, and I like that. Is one guy goes, dude, this is like the best day of my life. Thank you, and that's basically, and that just kind of warmed my heart a little bit. So.
That makes it.
We kind of take it for granted, right? You and John, because we've been doing this a long time, so we don't think about how cool it is for someone to, pay their perk. I mean, some of those guys, one came from Seattle, another came from Utah. I mean, these people wanted to be in this movie, paid on their own dime to fly out and be in the movie. And then the guys that did fly out, and even some of the local people, Kat did a great job. I forget her last name. Yeah,
Kat, I think it's Flo. I'm so bad with last names. But we got Tyler, Duckow, he flew out from Seattle, so he's, Yeah, he did great. Like I said, a lot of these, yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked how many people flew out, which was a cool experience. I mean, we're on the set. They saw everything in action. I mean, it was they just soaked it in. I don't think anybody was standing there or sitting there on their cell phone looking at Facebook. Everybody was their eyes were just glued, I mean, it was just, and they just soaked it in. When I was an actor, back when I was a young whippersnapper, I mean, and Brett could tell you, these, you might have one scene, it might take 20 minutes, but you're there for 12 hours waiting. So when I was an actor, I just hung around the crew, I followed the director. And then, when I got my start, my first directing, my DP came up to me. He's like, dude, this is your first time you ever direct? I go, yeah. And he's like, I've been around directors, for a good 10, 15 years. So I kind of know what to do and, the lingo and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it was cool just to, and just the stories. I mean, there's we're talking about blood. So we had so much blood being splattered. Like, some of the extras were behind the crew and the cameras. And the blood shot, I swear to God, over my head as a director. I'm right there behind the camera. It shot up like 40 feet and just splattered all the the extras and some of the cast. And we had a couple fans that were there. And I remember one guy, he was a car club guy. We had some hot rods there. So a car club, Metal Militia car club here, a local car club. A couple of the guys brought their cars to be in the background.
Cool guys. We saw one guy's car. He has he has John. This guy had a car, Challenger, right? I believe Challenger, not Challenger, but he has got 1,000 signatures on that thing. He says here, and he gives us a pen and says, "Sign my car." And I'm like, "You really want me to sign your car?" Okay, yeah. Good guys.
Yeah, good guys. And that was the guy. We had to do a second take, and my my first AD was standing next to me, and he got just splattered with blood. And that guy comes running up. He's like, "Oh, where did you stand? Because I want to get splattered with blood." Like, what are you talking about? So he stood there in my first AD spot. Well, the AD moved over like 2 feet. And then second take, the guy didn't get splattered. The AD got splattered again. And he's like, second 2 times in a row. So there was a lot of blood getting sprayed all over the place. So it was pretty crazy. It was funny.
Well, I know Brett, one of the things, because Brett told me after filming, was there were 2 things that really popped to him. Was working with you. He really enjoyed it and praised you. And like you were talking about, these talented people that came from all over the place and how good they were. Brett just was really blown away by it. He talked about it quite a bit between you and these actors he got to see just coming from all over and the talent they had. So,
well, you know what? So when I first started acting, I was going to acting classes all the time. I was going to an acting class 3 days a week, and then I'm working bars every single night. So I have my days free to audition. So when these guys who just have a love for the genre of the horror and they'll actually want to act and get an opportunity, they come out and knock it out of the ballpark. I'm like, God, because I was nervous when I was first getting that. And I'm not saying they weren't nervous, but there's no way I could have done what some of these guys did. If I would have been my first time on a set, I just would have peed in my pants. It wouldn't have worked. I'd have been so nervous.
Yeah. No, my acting roles, I was in some of those. I was always the serial killer. So I was in the mockumentaries on A&E. So I was always the serial killer, and I had a great time. I mean, it was just a fun experience for me. And I just, like I said, I just soaked it in and I just know that feeling. And that's why I like being on set and directing people. And,
so what's next? You can't tell me that there's not going to be 2023. You're not going to shoot another film.
Oh yeah. Well, we're working on it. We're
going to accept it for you.
Yeah. No. We're going to, my number one goal right now is obviously the film festival. Second, the next tied up with it is, getting the Evil 3 out. But no, we're working on scripts right now. Writing partner Zach Eckler. So we're writing right now. Our goal is, I told him, I go, let's write a script for us to make, and let's write 3 more for us to sell. So, yeah, and that's the plan. That's the plan. What we're doing, and we just got to figure. He's got a couple rough draft scripts. I have a couple of rough draft scripts we're working on. Some of the ideas, Brett. So, like I said, but it's gonna, obviously, it's gonna be horror. It's gonna be gory. Yeah, Amy's awesome. I love Amy Crabtree. So she's a producer on there and promoter. So she's awesome. She's awesome to have. But yeah. So it's I can't discuss what we're going to be making, but I definitely will not film ever again in the fall. So it was when we started filming. It was like the first weekend of October, and we filmed the entire month. And then the last weekend of October, the leaves started coming down. So then I'm like, oh shit. So I had like probably 2 or 3 PAs raking because we were at the forest preserve. So they were raking all day long, getting rid of leaves. Remember that?
I do remember. Hey, keep going. I may take a few bites of this because I got to eat some.
No problem.
He needs his potassium.
Yeah, get his potassium. Yeah. So my main concern too was, holy shit, if we got to do any reshoots, and in Chicago, it could be snowing in October. I was just so happy. All of our days shooting outside were perfect. Perfect weather, not windy. We were fighting with the sun all day, but I'd rather fight with the sun than deal with snow or rain, right? Especially when most of the script was, outside. So, yeah. So my main concern was, how about reshoots? Right now I'm looking at 3 inches of snow in Chicago. So there was one scene we filmed that day, Brett, with Jason. So we had to do a reshoot with Jason. So we did it. And that's the problem with not having a script supervisor on set. We shot Jason without his jacket on. So it didn't match up to the scene we shot like last week. So I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? So actually, the best thing about Jason, I got this awesome mask from Brazil, a maker in Brazil, and I got my girlfriend's 18-year-old kid, threw the jacket on him, put some paper towels to buff him up, threw him in the backyard. That's just close on the grass, and we filmed it, and it looks perfect, free. It was free. So yeah, so that was the only thing. We might have to do a couple green screens on stuff, which I'm not worried about. But that was my main. And I saw it, I was like, holy shit! Nobody caught myself. Jason isn't wearing his green jacket. So
the magic of guerrilla filmmaking. But you're the type of guy, right? Me, I would be like, I would have a panic attack. But you're like, we'll fix it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
because no choice. You got no choice, really. You got to figure.
You got no choice. You got to do it. Because what am I going to do? I'm happy. It's been a mild winter in Chicago. Like right now, forget about it. We're screwed. There's snow and ice. And this was last week. We did it last week. And it was just perfect timing. Thank God. Like I said, he did it. Wearing a mask. So, anybody, I could have, put the mask on my dog and, nobody's going to know the difference because it's, it's an awesome mask. But, yeah, we nailed it. But I'm also, I'm that fix it in post guy. So, there's a problem on the set. It's like, let's go. We'll fix it in post. I'll clean it up in post. Don't worry about it. So, you just got to bang these scenes out. Unfortunately, you don't have a big budget. So I'm not too, snow in Chicago. And
I noticed real quick, CJ, I noticed, John, if you could go back in there was someone, I think, Sarah Jen, who said that she already submitted one of her movie or her short.
Really? Very cool.
I'm guessing a zombie tsunami. I like it.
Yes. And I was going through all of the submitted films and I saw hers. So I haven't checked it out yet. If you have a trailer, send me. If you have a trailer, we're going to post it on our YouTube channel. Sarah, if you don't, send it to us. Send it to me. You can find me on Facebook or just message us. We'll put it on there. But our main thing, like I said, with the film festival, is to promote. Word of mouth. right now we have we just started that YouTube channel, but we're focused on growing it. And like I said, I also promote it on my Facebook page and all that. So it's I want, like I said, I want to be a stepping stone. If I could help somebody out, I mean, I've been helped out a lot, in all my careers. So, if I could pay it forward, that's the mission.
That's awesome. I mean, you're helping me out.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping at your place when I go to Chicago.
I told the girlfriend that. I go, by the way, Schwag's coming in July. So,
yeah, I'll be sleeping at your place. So that means we'll be going to Hooters for some dinner. But when I say, people go, "Oh, you two dirty old men." No, we actually like the food. I love food. And my wife loves it. There's just so little Hooters out where we live in California now that we don't have. And it's not, Buffalo Wild Wings don't cut it.
Yeah, I mean, I am a Buffalo Wild Wings, great wing. I had a hot wing eating contest there. My neighbor, little, she's probably 4'8", little Indian, awesome, veiny, and she beat me. She had 32 blazing wings. I had 31. She beat me, so the blazing, the super hot ones. So, and they lathered the sauce on it. But I do love Hooters. Awesome wing. People I'm a barbecue guy, and I just like that fried wing. And I'm a little mad at Hooters because I'm a big oyster guy. So we used to go there, and I'd get probably 2 dozen oysters at Hooters, and everybody's like, "Oysters at Hooters?" I'm telling you, I never had a problem. They're fresh. I was just at Morton's. I was at Morton's a couple of days ago. I think 6 oysters was like $24, and I was like, "Ooh boy!" But I missed the oysters. They got some good shrimp, but no, we'll barbecue. It's gonna be July, so I was on the barbecue pro barbecue circuit, the KCBS, and I was actually a judge of that. So I made some ribs. I smoked some ribs today. I did a little 3-2-1 method. I'll barbecue for us, Big Schwag.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, John.
Yes.
All right, PJ, any movies lately that the folks at home you've watched that you might want to make a suggestion for somebody to watch?
Megan. I watched Megan recently in the theater.
How was that?
I think it's on demand. It was good. I mean, it was Chucky meets the Terminator. I liked it. I mean, for a PG-13 movie, it had some pretty good
PG-13?
scares in it. Yeah.
PG-13, really? Wow.
Really?
Yeah, but it was well done. It wasn't a perfect movie. I was a little disappointed with the end, but not disappointed, but I enjoyed it overall. I'd give it a must-watch recently. I really liked Smile. I finally got a chance to watch that. I know I'm way behind on that one. What other horror movies have I seen lately?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't. Unfortunately, with me, my girlfriend moved. She sold her house a couple months ago, so she's been living with me, and she is not a horror fan at all. And I go, you know who you date, right? I mean, I'm a horror director, writer. So I haven't, like I said, with her living here, we haven't watched I haven't watched any horror in a few months. So, like I said, and we got all the dogs. I'm babysitting the dogs, as you can hear right now. So, but I really don't have anything current that I've watched, unfortunately. So
I watched it. We have every streaming old people.
Yeah, you've been telling me that. You've been telling me that.
Creepy. I even emailed Marcus Nispel, our director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I said, "Marcus, have you seen the German horror film Old People?" And he goes, "No." I said, "You got to watch it." Now, I watched it with the English, no subtitles, but them dubbed in the English, and it didn't bother me that much. Okay. I would watch it again, but seeing old people, very violent, is very scary, and I think I might have taken some melatonin that night, and I started having some weird dreams. Melatonin makes me dream weird stuff, and I had freaky things about old people after I watched this movie. So my suggestion, folks, Old People. I'm not sure if it was on Netflix. It's on one of the streaming channels, but it's filmed. They filmed it in Germany. It is German. I would maybe suggest watching it with the subtitles.
Yeah,
it takes away. Yeah, go ahead.
list. I mean, the last movies I've watched probably like 3-4 months ago is obviously Barbarian, and it took me
That was good.
I had to watch it twice. The first time I was like, "Ugh," and I turned it off in 20 minutes, and I gave it a second chance. I like that. Black Mask, love that. But like I said, those movies. If they've been played. Like I said,
X was overrated though. I wound up watching that recently.
X was. I saw that. I want to see Pearl.
The prequel, right? He did a prequel. Ty West did a prequel. I'm always telling my agent, I'm like, if Ty West has something, get me in there to audition for it. Yeah. But Pearl is supposed to be, and I forget who it is in one of our groups said Pearl is great. It's bloody, gruesome, and that girl does a really nice job. Who is the lead actress of Pearl, babe?
Yeah,
I want to see the menu too. The menu I heard is really good.
He's great.
Yeah, I heard the menu's really good. Mike said it was good too. I've heard a few people say it was really good, and I've been wanting to watch it, but it's just been so crazy busy.
And Kino Crew Productions, he says this thing about
Skinamarink.
A lot of people are talking about it.
Awesome trailer. I love the trailer. It's very avant-garde. So if you're like a traditional, I need straight up horror, straight up movie making, it's not it. Very avant-garde. The trailer's awesome. I love the audio of it, of this house, and it changes pitches. I think that's awesome. I think it's one of those movies you'll love or hate, but then again, it's also, and I forgot the director's name, but it's another Terrifier too. I mean, the guy made this film for like $10,000-$15,000, and it's already at like the 2 million mark. So, and that's awesome for the indie community directors, and that's my big beef with Hollywood is there's just no creativity anymore. It's let's do a remake. Let's make it this a guy, make this a girl, let's change some color, colors around, stuff like that, races around. I go, there's no, it's just a cheap way of making a movie. I mean, look at Disney. When has Disney really had done anything, any original? Nothing, that or just all green screen. So I'm happy with Terrifier 2 and this Skinamarink, if I'm pronouncing it right. I mean, it gets the indie director, an indie writer, something. And hopefully, I think sooner or later, with Hollywood becoming a bust and losing money on some of these films, they're going to figure out, screw these 10 directors that are in the inner circle or executives, and there's probably a million writers out there that got some awesome stories. So,
they're going to remake. The rumors are they're going to remake Lost Boys.
Yes. And
I think I saw they casted for it, and I saw the cast. I was like, no.
Yeah. I mean, they're remaking Lost Boys, and the boys. I mean, they look like they just walked out of, look like they were just baristas, which, no offense if you're a barista or anything like that, but I wouldn't be afraid of these guys. And I think I did a meme recently about that. Like, I would be definitely afraid of Kiefer Sutherland. And then the other guy, that kill me. The other two guys, I say, get me a venti latte, a couple pumps of this and a couple pumps of that, and stirred twice. They're remaking Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. Come on,
and I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a talented actor, but we don't need a Roadhouse remake. Mm-mm. You know what series is really good right now, and it surprised me. I didn't expect it. I figured they'd screw it up as The Last of Us. The first 2 episodes.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I mean, I love the game. I think it's one of the all-time great games.
Yeah.
The first one, even the second one I enjoyed. I get there was a lot of division with that, but
yeah.
So far it's awesome. I wasn't sure about the casting. Yeah. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to pull off being Joel. And that dude, I can't think of his name right now. The dude who plays Mandalorian. Yeah, Pedro Pascal. He's killing it as Joel. He transformed himself to look like Joel.
Okay. So the two leads, him and the girl, I won't get into it, but he's trying to save. They're both from Game of Thrones. So
he wasn't from Game of Thrones, was he?
Oh yeah, brother.
Was Pedro? Oh yeah. He was. I didn't know she was though.
Yeah,
you talking to the young girl?
She was.
Yeah, she must have been real young in that movie.
Yeah,
or in that series. Excuse me. Or was it the new Game of Thrones series, like the?
No, I think it's the old one.
That's the old one. So in the old one, she played Honey.
Because she's young. She can't be more than like 14, 15 years old.
She played a young queen, one of those things where the parents are dead, and she's like 10 years old, but still because she was
cold. She was cold. She was mean. She was a mean little girl. I remember her in there. I go, that little kid like off your head with your head. I was like, God damn, that girl's mean.
Yeah, so
don't play with her. I heard Poker. I want to see Poker Face. That's another one. I had to bring that up. Somebody brought Poker Face. That's got a stellar cast there.
Like I said, my girl, she's closing on her house. She's closing on her house in 3 weeks. So, I'll be able to watch some horror. So, like I said, it'll be a bachelor pad by the time Brett gets here in July.
That girl's name is Bella Ramsey. So,
yes,
great job on that.
Yeah, I heard it's good. I mean, I'm itching.
Oh,
I
it's
might even watch it
fantastic
tonight. I don't know.
Check it out.
HBO don't screw up. When HBO greenlights a show, a series that's going to cost a super amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, they throw all their eggs. That's what the wonderful thing. So hopefully CJ and John, and one of these days we'll get that opportunity. They'll go, we love that. Let's do it. Because when HBO puts their money behind something, it's a ton and it's limitless. And they just keep making good series.
Yeah. I'm super excited.
Absolutely.
For Peacekeeper 2. They're filming that right now, right?
Peacekeeper season 2. And what I saw, Brett's buddy Robert Patrick, I'm here like, so it sucks you probably won't be in season 2. Robert Patrick is in season 2, so I'm excited about that. Yeah. He's like, I won't say nothing. He's like, oh, you tell anybody. If I tell you, you can tell whoever you want. So. I thought he was giving me the inside scoop. He's like, just tell anybody. I don't care. I'm in it.
John Cena's, hitting it out of the park. The writing is tremendous on that show. And it's funny. It's off the wall fun. You watch that thing and you're like, holy crap, this is great.
Yeah. Well, I'm
one of the great intros, really. I mean, the song and everything. It's just fun. I mean, I'd just watch it to put that on a loop.
I'm a huge fan of the Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn.
Good.
Yeah, the first one, terrible. But I could watch that movie over and over and over. And I think it's because of Cena. I mean, he steals that movie. I mean, it's awesome.
It's shocking he translated. So, I mean, he just plays Peacekeeper so well. I've seen him in other movies, and he's not bad. But he owns it as Peacekeeper. Yeah. He really does. He was born to – it just – the way it's written – it fits his personality and the character that he brings to life of Peacekeeper. And I never read the comics of Peacekeeper, but I don't know. Eagerly. I mean, the cast was great, and it was a show I absolutely had the lowest of expectations for, and I was hooked after episode 1. I'm like, man, this is really, really good.
Wrestlers are doing wonderful. Batista is doing great, and he's got Knock at the Cabin Door? I keep seeing previews for this. John, you might have to look that up, but I think it's called At the Cabin Door. The previews look amazing.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming out in horror and other things too. So it's gonna next. This year is gonna be jam packed, and it's pretty exciting to see. And like I said, and I just hope, like I said, Hollywood, with this Cinema Rink and the Terrifier 2 coming out. They maybe look at a Chicago Horror Film Festival, and whoever wins Best Writer and Best Director and Best Film puts a spotlight on them, and then,
are we also going to do like Best Actor in a movie in the thing or stuff like that? Are we going to have?
There's Best Actor, Best Actresses, Best Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Editing. Like I said, I'm going to add some more awards, make it a little fun, change it up a little bit. So, it's basically like the Oscars, same type of awards, best, audio, editing, stuff like that.
It's Knock on the Cabin Door. I saw the trailer. The only problem I have with that movie is it looked really cool, and I feel like they showed way too much in the trailer I saw. They just showed. I feel like I've already seen the movie, and there's just a few things I got to know what happens at the end. I don't want to. I mean, I'd recommend anybody. It looks like a really good movie, but don't even watch any trailers unless they're hiding some great twist. But I mean, they gave so much away.
Well, when I was excited about, back in the day when Marvel started coming out with movies, it got to a point where after like the third trailer of something, like the Avengers, I'll stop watching the trailer. I'll just turn it off because they just, every trailer they add a little bit more, and I don't want it to ruin. I didn't want to ruin the experience.
At least with Marvel, they did something really well.
Yeah,
like even in Endgame, Thor was Fat Thor.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And they showed him as they put in clips that weren't in the movie, or if they were in the movie, they weren't what they appeared to be. But this movie, it just gives so much away. Like I said, it looks so good. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, which I find his movies are really good. They tend to be, a lot of them, like 3-4 years later, go, man, this was before its time kind of movie.
Yeah. It ages very well, all his movies.
Yeah, usually.
I haven't seen, what was his last one? Old? Or what was that? No, what was that?
Yeah, that was, I saw Old. Yeah, that was.
It wasn't bad. It had a. I think with M. Night Shyamalan, he's either hit or miss. I think as far as.
It got a little confusing at the end. I mean, it was he has these type of movies that it's even like with the one with Mark Wahlberg, where the plants were making people commit suicide.
I love that.
It's like they're really interesting, but it's so hard to properly give it an ending where it doesn't feel like it leaves you flat.
There's a scene, and as far as, I'm not a filmmaker, obviously, I would love to direct sometime, but there's a scene in there where it's just a shot of the shoes in the bottom of the pant legs, and where someone kills themselves with the gun, and they drop the gun, and then you don't even see the other person. You just see the person's hand pick it up, shoot themselves, and it goes on. And I'm like, ooh, it was just interesting that I love his take on that, because they didn't even show who it was until they hit the ground.
Yeah.
But
he's a great filmmaker. He's a great filmmaker. Yeah, some of his movies are hit or miss, but he's like a visionary. I mean,
100%.
And there's so many movies that were a miss for me when I first watched it, and then you watch it again, it's great. Unbreakable. Yeah. Like when I first saw it, it wasn't like it was before its time, even with the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Superhero movies were kind of cold at the time, and I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I think it was just right after Sixth Sense, and people kind of were like, okay, this isn't quite what I expected. Getting to know him. But it became a trilogy by the time it was over, and I enjoyed the trilogy. I thought it was really well made, and the thing I like about them, whether it works or not, you can never guess what's going to happen the way he does it. I mean, just the way he does his films, I'll give him credit that he tries to keep it where you're always guessing, and that's one of my favorite things when I'm watching a film. If I'm always guessing, even if it winds up not overall being a great film or something I really love, but if I'm guessing the whole way through, I'm definitely engaged with it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I hate predictable movies. I'll sit here. I forgot what movie I was watching with the girlfriend at last, but we were just like predicting what's going to happen next, and it happened. And then I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen next, and it happens. And it's just, like I said, he puts a fresh spin, and it's nice to see. Yeah, The Happening.
Yeah, I enjoyed The Happening. I mean, it's another one of those films where how do you end it type deal, but it was really interesting. I was always engaged with that film as I was watching it and wondering how it would end. And I do want to give it another rewatch.
With Mel Gibson, that was another good one. That was a little pretty creepy.
So
which one?
Was it Signs?
Signs. I that was another one that was divided too. I loved Signs. I thought it was a great movie with him and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson, I think it's hard to find a film that he's been in that is not well done, or at least he doesn't kill it in the movie. And Joaquin Phoenix is the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's a talent.
Before we wrap this up, I'll give you a movie that Mel Gibson did that's one of my ultimate favorite movies, but this was after he was in a little bit of trouble with society, and so it's called Get the Gringo.
I love that movie. That was a good one. I did not expect it to be, and it was so good.
Great. If he wouldn't have been in trouble at the time, and because I'm sure he had to pay for it himself, he had to put it out himself. that movie, you could do a sequel to that. That character is so fun. That movie was so fun that, you know, when you see something that doesn't have all the studio backing and everything, and they still hit it out of the park, it's because he's a good actor, you know, and it's because he gets into these characters and they're fun.
It's like the South Park episode. You can say what you want about Mel Gibson, but he understands storytelling.
Yeah.
And he certainly does.
Well, CJ, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Once again, an awesome show.
So if the folks want to talk about or submit a film to the Chicago Horror Film Festival, what do they need to do?
Just go to Film Freeway. Go to Film Freeway. I mean, the directors and filmmakers know about the website, and then, you know, search for Chicago Horror Film Festival. They'll see it on there. There's our 24th anniversary. We're going to be updating that page pretty soon, adding some new categories. Like Aaron was talking about, I like to do a best trailer because I'm all about trailers. And then, like I said, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, Chicago Horror Film Festival, it's at Chicago Horror for Twitter. But like I said, we're changing things up. We're gonna start hammering out the social media. We're on TikTok right now. The YouTube channel, Chicago Horror Film Festival.
Instagram.
And Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're everything. We're everything.
You're a TikToker now. You might see CJ twerk. He might be twerking on camera for you, so you can get those dollar bills out for CJ.
Yeah. I like some of the song choices on TikTok. I'm not a fan of, but we always throw a Pantera on all of our TikToks. So that, and like I said, for the Evil 3, check us out on Indiegogo. Just, you know, search for The Evil 3, and same thing with Facebook. Follow me, CJ Vecchio at Facebook. But like I said, we're super excited. It's going to be a fun summer. You know, we got, you know, Evil 3 is coming out. We got the Big Schwag coming out in July. We're going to have a party. And it's going to be a fun summer, I think. It's going to be a blast.
Well, we got a wood stove. He'll bring his chainsaw and he'll get it all set for you.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you coming on and giving us updates on you. Anytime you got some good updates, you're more welcome to chime in and come on anytime. And thank you so much.
And people watching, subscribe to these guys. This is the second show. I'm honored. So hit the subscribe button for these guys and keep on watching because they got some good shows coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you, chat. Thank you to my sidekick, the Big Schwag, and thank you, CJ Vecchio. And best of luck with the Chicago Horror Film Festival. We're going to keep everybody out there up to date on what goes on, and you keep us informed. And as you got things to announce, we'll bring you back on. We'll talk about it.
A slow roll of announcements. So every day is going to be popping out something.
Sounds good. Peace out, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. And we're almost in February.
Woo!
All right, buddy.
All right, guys. Peace.
Yeah.